today. From Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry for Najee Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They will be led out by a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there out of the running game. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing now is Lock. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
On second down, it's Carson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Block off of play action. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. A big play there on the catch and run. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. He'll look to throw. That swung out wide to Harris. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. The give, this is Harris, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett, and that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18. After 1 on EA Sports. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. They'll look to throw. Caught on a slant. And in for the Steelers' touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Taken at the goal line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
51 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. They fake the handoff. Now Locke. They'll roll him out right. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand.
Touchdown! Nick Keiser, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And that touchdown drive happened very, very quickly. You knew that they had the quick strike ability. They showed it.
And for a defense that understands that, it still drives them crazy when it actually happens to them. Fast and furious, there came the points.
A trick shot on the extra point, but it is good off the left upright. And the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 2. They hand this off to Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And his throw is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Johnson was the intended receiver. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
His throw incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Back to throw again. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll check this down to McFarland. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And his kick here is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. Steps away. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A final shot before half for Locke. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And a touchdown separating these two as they've gone to halftime. Rondale Moore, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they trail the visiting Green Bay Packers as that one's gone to halftime. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And at the half, they trailed the visiting Washington football team. Teddy Bridgewater with a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. That one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now it's Locke. Rolling to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. On play action, Locke. He hits his target, Lockett. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. To throw it is Locke. And that's going to be caught, Dwayne Eskridge. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Dwayne Eskridge, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Alex Highsmith there on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A handoff to Penny. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And a quick throw here that's complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
And his kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down, he'll drop to throw it. Ebron with it over the middle. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Back to throw. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. They'll set up to throw. Short little throw to Ebron. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Now they set up a screen for McFarland. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll swing that out, complete to McFarland. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll make this a 2nd down. Now back to throw. That's into the hands of his running back, McFarland. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they try the right side here. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, here's McFarland. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually...
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Back to throw. Lock. Rolling to his right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now the Steelers down by a field goal. 1:47 on the clock. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's got Smith-Schuster. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Back to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster again. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Well, I think they knew that that one was going to be a long shot, but in the end, it's looking like they're going to come up short.
And it's tough to really hang too much blame on your kicker here either. That would have been well above and beyond his range, and this will go down as a tough loss. They played well enough to win.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Locke. He'll buy some time right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. And, Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench, just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
See if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to our 3rd and 3. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Seahawks, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.